Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be reviewing the Grom Vlite Android Auto and Apple CarPlay integration system. This is for my 2005 Lexus LS430. Since I purchased my LS, realized that the infotainment system is quite lacking. The car has factory Bluetooth for the phone, but no Bluetooth connectivity for audio or music. I decided I was going to get this unit because currently I have a cheap FM transmitter, and if you've ever used one of those, when you're traveling town to town, you often have to change the channel because of interference. So I'm going to start by doing a little unboxing of this. Sorry, I lost my tripod, so we're freehanding this today. This just arrived in the mail. I've wanted to buy this for the last 2 years, but I couldn't justify the price. But Grom had a Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale where this unit was $80 off for the Vlite and $100 off for the VLine, which still pricey, definitely easier to swallow. Just a little bit of what's in the box. Installation manual specifically for the Lexus model. When you purchase this, you're requested to put in the make and model of the vehicle that you have. This is the same installation manual, I believe, for the VLine and the Vlite. Little user guide. There's the actual unit. I went with the Vlite unit because I don't really see the need to have standalone freeloaded apps on the unit. I'm going to use this for Waze or Google Maps and some audio streaming. Sorry about the camera shake here. I really wish I knew where that tripod was. Here's the VLine Lite. USB input, micro SD card input, microphone input, and then the connection for the car and optional GPS antenna. I didn't really see the need to have the optional GPS antenna. I could purchase it, but at the moment I'm going to test it as is. And here's the 2 integration harnesses for the actual car. And I go ahead and work on tearing down the inside of the vehicle just to give you an idea how to install this next. The first thing we need to do is pop out the lower trim panel. Let me try to get a better angle on this. This is easiest done with the shifter in neutral. What you're going to do is just use a small pry tool, and we're actually going to pop out this piece right here. I just went and grabbed the light to make this a little easier to see on camera. My garage isn't the best lit. Once you have this lower trim panel removed, there are 2 Phillips screws that hold this next piece in place. On the back, there's just a couple little retaining clips for the poverty buttons, or lack thereof as some people call them. I have the ultra luxury, so I'm full of buttons. There's a little retaining clip that holds a wiring harness in place. I'm just going to grab a pair of pliers to pop this out. With that retaining clip out, this whole unit comes out. Just going to sit this aside. This is a nice little magnetic phone mount, or at least an arm for a magnetic phone mount. I picked this up on Amazon. If anyone's interested, I can link it below. This is a very nice piece. This is the last part that we really need the shifter back for. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in park and turn the switch off. The next thing we have to do is pop out these two climate control switches. They're in there pretty good, but a trim tool should get them out. Go. Once you have that removed, you can disconnect the wire harness. Inside of these little holes, there are two Phillips screws. Potentially looks like an 8mm bolt. There's two of these on this side, and then there's two of them on the driver's side. I'm going to go ahead and pop this one out and remove those 4 screws, and I'll show you what's next. All right, both sides are removed. Now we need to remove the CD changer. I get an angle here, sorry for this. Up under it, there are two 10mm bolts. One on the passenger side, one on the driver's side. Sorry for the lopsided camera angle. So now we're going to pull out on the bottom of the CD player, and this whole center section should come out. We need to disconnect the hazard. And then there's some connectors on the back of the CD changer. So this was for the hazard, and these two connectors were for the CD changer. At that point, the main unit should be ready to pull out. You're just going to get behind it and give it a little pull forward, and there it's out. And on the back of this, there's two more connectors that I'm going to remove, and then there is a third that I think does the motor for the oscillating vents. And that's how you remove the center console on a Lexus LS430. The VLine or Vlite 2 has two main harnesses. One is this black one with what looks like a 20-pin connector that comes into this side of the unit. Okay, took a little persuasion, but it snapped in. And then on the other end is this jumper harness. It plugs into both ends. This is kind of a little goofy setup if you ask me. It would have been nice if all these wires came out of one side, because I plan on mounting this in my glove box when it's all said and done. And look at how this wraps around. This is kind of silly to me. You think they could have done it where all of the wiring came out of one side? Because it'd be nice if I could just mount this in the glove box on the side and have all the wires going one direction. But now I'm going to have to figure out a way to wrap them around and then get them back together. The one harness ties in right to the main harness on the back of the, I guess you call it the nav unit, the main head unit. One end connects right here to this. And then the other end jumpers right back into the stock location. From the other harness, this one actually ties in to the CD changer. We're going to go to this white one and just piggyback it here. And then this will then go into the factory CD changer. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to get this semi put back together because I really want to see where I can run some of the wiring. And then once it's semi together, I'll be back and show you what we're working with. All right, so here we are. I have everything temporarily buttoned back up. I actually have the unit sitting up above the factory radio. I ran the wiring down the side for the CD changer. It's in there, but I really want to find a way to get it in the glove box. But the glove box on these are completely sealed, so I'm going to have to tear the inside of this apart just to see what options I have. Because in order to update the firmware on these, you need to have access to the USB ports. And if it's buried in the dash, it's kind of pointless. So in order to do this, I should just double press the disc. And there we are. Now we got to keep in mind that this is an old screen. So the video quality on it isn't perfect, but I think I'm gonna like this. I wish I could go through some of the more specific controls, but I'm recording this on my phone. So this is where we're going to have to wrap up for today. I'm going to tinker around with it. I'm going to potentially leave it behind the dash, and then maybe in the future put it in the glove box. But just to see how I like it, I think I'm going to leave it here and button this back up for today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Drop a comment below. I will be doing a little review on this, but I'm going to get it, use it, set it up, figure how it works before I do anything more. Just wanted to add a little update to the end of the video here. Everything is installed on the unit. Just wanted to show you a little bit about how the system works. I will potentially do a full review on this later. The screen is a little less responsive than a newer map or a newer unit, but it has pretty much full Android Auto capabilities. These are just some of the current apps that I have set up. I don't have my phone up and running everything, but you can see on here we have all our basic functionality. I don't want to actually play any music because everything's copyrighted, and I don't need YouTube hating a video. But so far, so good. I've had this installed for about a month now. I haven't posted, well, I'm just getting around to posting the video. One little update that I did do since the video, I ended up mounting the unit in the glove box. It's just sitting down here behind some stuff. What I had to do is, there's a small space. I don't think this is going to come through on camera, but there was a little place that I was able to pass the wires through that brought it out behind the back of the glove box. And then I just cut a little tab. Sorry, I don't have my light with me. A little notch out of the flap back here that covers the cabin air filter to run the wiring through. It's a lot cleaner. I could have left the unit in the dashboard. It wasn't causing any harm, but I wanted to have access to it. So 1 month and going, it's definitely worth the money. I have tried some of the Chinese Android tablet units. They're all buggy. The climate doesn't work in them. I've seen people that get them working well, but the 2 different ones that I bought, I had no luck with. But it's great. I would definitely recommend it. Again, it is a little buggy because it's new tech with an old screen. I think if the touch screen in the car was a little more responsive, there would be no issues with it. But it works for everything that I need. Again, thanks for watching. If you found the content helpful, please like and subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Bye.